New at 10, the chilling story of what's happened to another Chicago mother. She was shot 11 times in a cold-blooded shooting. She is thankful to be alive and tonight demands some answers. NBC5's Regina Waldrop live with her story tonight. Regina?
Stephan, what an amazing story of survival. This young woman says three people identified the shooter as her ex-boyfriend, also the father of her young son, to police. But tonight, no community alert, no charges. The only thing police telling us, this case still being investigated. LaSonia Agee stronger than she ever imagined.
I just thank God I'm here.
Still here after getting shot 11 times, she says, by an abusive ex-boyfriend.
He only hit me 11 times. That's how many times he hit me. This doesn't count the bullet holes on my car.
Well, she doesn't want you to see her face as she recovers in the hospital.
He mostly hit my pelvis and my right leg.
She wants you to hear her story.
I believe he was trying to kill me and leave no witnesses.
The February 21st shooting in the 7800 block of South Muskegon captured on surveillance video. It happened as LaSonia was getting out of a car.
We were talking for a minute. He was trying to make me get in the car with him. And I'm like, no. He then said, okay. And he pulled up and he pulled back and started shooting.
LaSonia's grandmother, her uncle, also shot and recovering. Her 3-year-old son, who was with her, was not injured.
He was trying to help me. He said, come on, mama, come on.
LaSonia says her ex is armed, dangerous, and still on the run.
I feel like if I was to leave right now and maybe he'll finish me off.
She wants her story to be a lesson to others.
It's not worth it. You see me, I got shot 11 times by someone I loved and someone I shared a child with.
This is the story of LaSonia Agee, a young mother who thought she had finally broken free from the grip of her abusive ex-boyfriend, only to be met with a hail of bullets that should have killed her. A man she once trusted, the father of her child, tried to erase her from existence in the most horrific way imaginable. 11 bullets tore through her body, her family members were left fighting for their lives, and the entire attack was captured on surveillance cameras. What makes this case more terrifying is that the system failed her. Over and over again, this woman begged for help. Restraining orders couldn't help her. The police dismissed her cry for help. The law allowed a monster to roam free until it was too late. And here's the shocking part. Her ex didn't run. Instead, this man went on Facebook Live and confessed, telling the world that he had just lost it. He spoke as if he were the victim, as if shooting the mother of his child and 2 of her family members was some tragic accident instead of cold-blooded attempted murder. You're watching True Crime Stories 24/7. Thanks for joining. Please do well to subscribe and like this video to support us.
I'll never see another birthday. It's over with, Joe. If you fucking love me, nigga, say that shit now, cause this gonna be the last time. You know what you say it. If you love me, nigga, you really love me, nigga, call my phone, cause it's gonna be the last time you gonna be able to say it, Joe. I just fucked up. And ain't nothing I can do about it. Ain't nothing I can do about it. I just fucked up, bro. I mean, that shit fucking with me. That shit got me. I just threw everything away. Ain't no coming back from this shit, bro. Ain't no coming back from this shit. Ain't no point in me. Ain't no point in me going against no. Any fucking got a problem with me? Let that shit be known right now. Let that shit be known right now. Any motherfucking problem with me? Let it be known. All this secret ass, fake ass on you. Any motherfucker, bro. Any motherfucker. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm already over it. I'm done talking about it now, but I ain't think about it. Folks don't know what a nigga be thinking about on a daily basis when you gotta sit there and you gotta think about this shit before you get to the motherfucking thought, the real thought that you need to have in your head. You going through so much other bullshit, man. On my soul, bro. On my soul, Joe. Like, I'm hurt. I'm hurt like a motherfucker. I'm hurt like a motherfucker, Joe, cause I can't even believe I just did, and I don't even know what just pushed me to snap like that, Joe. I don't even know what just pushed me to snap like that, dude. That shit, I just lost. I just fucking lost it, bro. It's over with. It's over with, dude. All that. Man, look. Ain't no motherfucker. And motherfuckers ain't gonna see me no more, dude. I ain't running. I've been on a run over a year and a half. I'm not running from these people no more, bro. They come get me, bro. They come get me, bro. They come get me. That's all I'm gonna say. They come get me, Joe. My soul. And they better come. They better come ready to kill. They better come ready to kill. My soul. Any motherfucker problem right now. Time is to get it right now, bro. I'm putting my any motherfucker on my kids, bro. It's over for me, bro. I love y'all, Joe. I love all y'all, bro. I love every motherfucker, G. And the motherfuckers who know me, G, they know me, Joe. Y'all know me personally, Joe. Y'all know me personally. Fuck them bogus for hopping on this bitch, but you feel me? When you know it's over with, you know it's over with, G. And I've been saying shit. I've been saying this shit. I just talked to my brother yesterday, Joe, and I just realized it took it though. I feel like, whoa, I don't know why. You feel me, Joe? I don't even know what the thinking, bro. It's all love though. I love y'all, Joe. On my soul, they gonna assassinate my character when I'm gone. They gonna assassinate. It's over with. It's over with for me, short. It's over with. My soul, it's my last water. It's over with, bro. It's over with, man. I just, I just up, yo. I just up, yo. What this shit? That shit fucked up. Like I ain't supposed to be in. Nigga, I made 27 yesterday. Nigga, you know what the fuck I've been through to get here, bro? You know what I've been through to get here, bro? And the slightest thing, I just everything away, bro. Like I just fucked up, bro. I just fucked up, bro. I just fucked up. And I don't judge, making a judge. I love that motherfucker. Yo, that shit. That's fucked up part about it, bro. I love that woman dearly, bro. I love her dearly, bro. I love that lady dearly, bro. I'm gonna stay strong, G. I'm over with KT. It's over with for me, KT. I hope you enjoy knowing me, shorty. It's over with. It's over with, bro. Shorty. Shorty, you don't understand, shorty. You will never understand, shorty. I'm finna get off this shit, but shorty, it's over with for. It's over with for me. It's over with for me, shorty. It ain't nothing a motherfucker do for me.
This is a story that should make your blood boil. More importantly, this story could save someone's life. Because somewhere out there right now, another woman is trapped in the same nightmare, screaming for help that may never come. This happened in Chicago, Illinois, a city known for its breathtaking skyline, deep dish pizza, and rich history. But beneath the glitz and glamour, Chicago, like many cities, is also home to dark, untold stories of violence, manipulation, and horror. This story you are about to hear is one of them. Now, before we get into the unimaginable series of events that led to that night of terror, let me ask you something. How often have you heard people say, "Why don't they just leave?" You've probably thought it yourself, maybe even said it out loud. If someone is in an abusive relationship, why don't they just walk away? It sounds so simple, doesn't it? But what if leaving wasn't an option? What if walking away puts your entire family at risk? What if the person who claimed to love you knew every hiding place, every friend's house, every move you made? And what if, despite the bruises, despite the death threats, despite every attempt to escape, no one believed you were truly in danger? This woman tried her best to escape this dilemma. She ran, she fought, she begged for help. And still, the system let her down. Lasonia Aji was only 24 years old, a hard-working mother who had built a life for herself in Chicago. She had dreams, goals, a son she adored, and a will to succeed that nothing, not even an abusive relationship, was going to take away from her. She worked for the United States Postal Service, and on the side, she was growing her own cosmetics business. She had ambition, she had hope. And like so many women, she thought she had met the man she would spend the rest of her life with, Larry Sistrunk. At first, things were good. They always are, aren't they? This guy was charming, affectionate, and protective. But slowly, that protectiveness turned into control. The concern became an obsession. The love became fear. And after their son was born in 2017, everything changed. It started small. Jealousy, arguments, little fights that never seemed to end. But soon, it became physical. And what began as moments of anger turned into years of terror. Lasonia was trapped. Not just physically, but mentally. She had no strong family support. She had lost her mother at a young age, and Larry exploited her isolation. He made sure she believed that without him, she had nowhere to go. But despite the threat, this woman was determined. She started saving money in secret, She knew that one day she would have to run. And then she did. She moved into her apartment without telling him. She got a restraining order. She cut him off. She thought she was finally free. But monsters don't just disappear. One night she came home, and surprisingly for her, she met Larry in her house. Waiting. Hiding in her closet with a gun. Can you imagine the horror of thinking you finally escaped, only to find your abuser inside your home, armed and enraged? He was furious that she had signed a lease without him. He threatened her and her grandmother. Then, in a fit of rage, he smashed every single window in the apartment.
Niggas be hoes. Niggas be hoes.
Unfortunately, the landlord told her to leave because of the scene Larry caused in her apartment. The landlord didn't offer her any help. No protection, no relocation, just, you have to move. Since this woman had nowhere else to go, she had no choice. She went back, not because she loved him, not because she forgave him, but because she was terrified of what he would do if she didn't. At this point, the abuse was nonstop. Black eyes, broken belongings, constant threats. She filed police reports. She begged them for help, but nothing changed. After a while, she tried to escape again. She saved enough money to buy a car, thinking that if things got worse, she could just drive away. But Larry wasn't going to let that happen. One night, he deliberately crashed her car into a garage. Another time, he found out she bought a new car and drove it straight into a pole, smashing every window. He wanted to break her. And when she tried to leave him for good, he took their son. He kidnapped their child and refused to give him back. Lasagna went to the police again, desperate for them to help her get her son back. But to her surprise, the response she got from the police wasn't an assuring one. "There's nothing we can do. It's a custody issue," the police replied. If only they'd offered to help her at this moment, perhaps things would have turned out differently. But they told her to get another restraining order, as if the last one had done anything. This woman had no job, no car, no money. And now, her child had been taken from her. And Larry knew exactly what he was doing. He made sure she understood that as long as she kept trying to escape, she would suffer. And February 21st, 2021 would be the day he proved it. On that day, Larry was done playing games. He waited for her to come home. And when she refused to get in his car, when she refused to be his prisoner, he pulled out a gun. The next few minutes would be a bloodbath. He shot her 11 times. He shot her uncle. He shot her grandmother. And then, just to make sure she didn't survive, he turned his gun on the car where their 3-year-old son was sitting and unloaded his clip.
I guess he's ready to.
Waiting for him to shut the door.
Yeah.
So it looks like he left
He left
and came around the corner, came back around
So your brother moved, and that's when he's standing up behind the car.
for her to park, right?
Yeah.
Because he had moved the chair out the way.
Mm-hmm. Look, she's parking.
Yeah, he moved the chair out the way so she could park.
How's your brother?
He's doing okay. They still don't have him on liquids yet. They have like the sponge and water for him to have his liquids. She's actually able to walk to the bathroom. They gave her a walker so she can, she slowly goes to the bathroom.
Okay.
But they just started sitting him up yesterday.
Oh, okay. Good.
Sitting him up in a chair.
So look, he's coming back again. Oh my God!
He bagged back once she parked.
When see her parking, it happens in less than a minute. He's coming out. Look, you're gonna see him. He spoke with her something, and then he comes out of the car. And when he start with her, with your daughter. You see?
He shot her, shot my brother,
and
my sister was running, so he shot my sister.
And you know what?
Then he shoots in the car again at her.
Yeah, and
because his car was rolling and he had to get in.
That's the only way he drive away, because the car start driving himself.
Because if it wasn't for that, he would have kept on shooting.
So now your daughter opened the door, and the baby
crawls out the car.
The baby crawls through her, It's and then that's when it happened. Like when I start calling the 911 to get out the kid on the way, because in my mind I thought
He was gonna
he's got
come back.
coming back and shoot, start shooting again. And I told my husband, like let's move away the baby from there.
Lasonia Aji lay on the cold pavement, blood soaking through her clothes, her body racked with unimaginable pain. 11 bullets had torn through her flesh, each one carrying the fury of a man who had sworn to love her. But she wasn't the only one. Her uncle was down. Her grandmother was down. And just feet away, inside the bullet-riddled car, her 3-year-old son sat frozen, watching the horror unfold. Larry had done exactly what Lasonia had feared for years. He had finally snapped. The gunshot still echoed in the air, ringing in the ears of bystanders who had witnessed the unimaginable. Neighbors, frozen in fear, peeked through their windows, too terrified to step outside. Then, just like that, Larry was gone. Minutes later, the distant wail of approaching police and ambulances shattered the silence. The street, once an ordinary neighborhood, had turned into a crime scene soaked in blood and terror. First responders rushed to Lasonia's body, expecting the worst. The sheer number of bullet wounds told them that this was likely a fatal shooting. No one gets shot 11 times and lives. But against all odds, she was still breathing. Barely. Her pulse was weak. Her body was failing. But she was alive. They moved fast. Every second counted. Paramedics loaded Lasonia, her uncle, and her grandmother into ambulances, racing toward the hospital. For her, this wasn't just a fight for survival. It was a fight to stay conscious, to not slip away. As she was being transported to the hospital, the only thought on her mind was if her son was okay. She couldn't speak. She couldn't move. But she could feel. The excruciating pain, the burning sensation in her body, the cold grip of fear that even at this moment she still wasn't safe. Would Larry come back? Would he finish what he started? As the ambulance sped through the Chicago streets, Lasonia's body was shutting down. The paramedics worked desperately to keep her alive, stopping the bleeding and monitoring her vitals. While Lasonia fought for her life in a hospital bed, Larry did something that made this case even more disturbing. He didn't hide. He didn't run to another city or disappear into the shadows like most criminals. Instead, he picked up his phone, opened Facebook, and went live. Yes, you heard that right. A man who had just unloaded an entire clip on the mother of his child and her family decided that his next move was to record himself. And the things he said? Chilling. I just lost it, bro. I don't even know what pushed me to snap like that. I just threw everything away. The world was watching a killer unravel in real time. His voice cracked. His breathing was heavy. His face was drenched in panic and regret. But not regret for what he had done. Regret that he had to face the consequences. And here's where things took an even darker turn. Larry claimed to love Lasonia. Repeatedly, he said it. I love that woman dearly. Over and over, as if love was a justification for nearly killing her. As if shooting the mother of his child 11 times was somehow an act of love gone wrong. This is a man who had terrorized Lasonia for years. He had stalked her, beaten her, kidnapped their child, destroyed her belongings, and driven her to the brink of despair. And now, he wanted sympathy. He wanted people to believe that this was just a moment of weakness, just a mistake, just a bad day. He even went so far as to warn the police, telling them that if they came for him, they better be ready to kill. Larry had no intention of going down quietly. But what he didn't know, what he never expected, was that Lasonia had survived. Doctors had never seen anything like it. 11 bullets, her pelvis shattered, her liver damaged, and yet she was alive. Somehow none of the bullets had hit a major organ. She had been ripped apart by gunfire, but she was still breathing. Her survival was a miracle, and a testament to her will to live. But waking up in that hospital bed wasn't a relief, because Larry was still out there. He had vanished. He could be anywhere. And Lasonia knew one thing for certain. He wasn't finished. She had defied death. She had survived something that should have been fatal. And now, she was a living witness. But would the system protect her this time? Would the police finally take her seriously? Or would she have to spend the rest of her life looking over her shoulder, waiting for him to come back and finish the job? Now, the pressure was on. The media was finally catching wind of the story. People were outraged. How had this happened? Why wasn't Larry in custody the first time he broke the restraining order? Why did it take 3 people getting shot for anyone to care? Social media erupted. People demanded justice. But Larry? He was still free. For weeks, he evaded police, moving from city to city. He had time to reflect, to strategize, and to plan his next move. And Lasagna? She lived in constant fear. Would she even make it out of the hospital before he found her again? Would he try to finish what he started? Would she ever feel safe again? These were the questions racing through her mind, and no one could give her an answer. Because as long as Larry was out there, she wasn't just a survivor, she was a target. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into an agonizing wait. Lasagna had survived the unimaginable, but was survival enough? The justice system had failed her before. Would it fail her again? Would her story be just another headline that fades away? Or would this finally be the moment when the system stepped up and did its job? For Lasagna, the nightmare wasn't over, not even close. Because as long as Larry was still breathing, she would never be free. And nobody knew what he was going to do next. This wasn't just a dangerous man on the loose. This was a man who had already demonstrated that he was willing to kill. A man who had spent years controlling, terrorizing, and stalking Lasagna. A man who knew exactly where she lived. Exactly where her family lived. Exactly where she worked. And now, he was unaccounted for. Let me ask you, how do you think that felt for her? To wake up in a hospital bed, still in excruciating pain, and realize that your worst nightmare is still out there, roaming free? The system had failed her before the shooting. And now, it was failing her again. Days passed, then weeks, then over a month. No arrest, no updates. Larry had vanished into thin air while Lasagna and her family lived in constant fear. Because if the police weren't doing enough to find him, who would? Then, finally, a breakthrough. Larry was found. He had been hiding in Louisiana, in an apartment on Mary Jane Street in Mansoura. For weeks, he had been evading capture, moving from place to place. And let's be honest, if there hadn't been so much pressure from the public, would they have even caught him? Think about it, because this wasn't just another criminal on the run. This was a man who had shot 3 people in cold blood, gone live on social media to confess, and somehow still managed to avoid arrest for over a month. When police finally caught up to him, he didn't fight. There was no dramatic standoff, no shootout, no "I'll never go down alive" moment. Nope. He surrendered without resistance. The same man who, weeks earlier, had warned the police to come ready to kill, just gave up. Because that's how these cowards always are. Big, bad, and dangerous until the moment they have to face real consequences. Then suddenly, they're harmless. Eventually, Larry was charged with 3 counts of attempted murder and 3 counts of aggravated battery. Lasagna could have died, but she didn't. And now, she has a message. A message to every woman, every mother, every person out there who is trapped in an abusive relationship. Leave. Don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for things to get better, because there is no right time. It doesn't get better. And the longer you stay, the harder it gets. Lasagna tried to leave. She did everything right, and she still almost lost her life. Don't wait until you're lying in a hospital bed with bullet wounds to make your move. If you're in danger, get out, because you might not get a second chance. This story should make you angry. It should make you think. It should make you realize just how many people are suffering in silence right now. People who are begging for help but are being ignored. We need to do better. We need to listen. We need to stop waiting until it's too late. I hope this story has imparted you with some wisdom. If you want to hear more stories like this, real stories that expose the truth, that uncover the hidden horrors happening every single day, subscribe to this channel. If you know of anyone who needs to hear this story, do well to share it with them. Don't hesitate to leave a comment below. If you have any tips for those going through an abusive relationship, your insight will be greatly appreciated. Till I come your way again, stay safe out there, folks.